And then I'm going to share my screen. So I will start out by saying this came about. So I worked on this I collaborated with my mom, Susan, and Jory and Carrie Rudow to create, you guys, this will look familiar to people who have been here for a little bit, but we tweaked it a little bit. Hi, Terry. And this kind of came about from two leaders in our organization. So we were fortunate enough to be with JT at the regional. Hi, Lynn. And he took the leaders out for a leadership dinner. So we got it there. And then we also got it again during the Saturday training. And he talked about courting people. Like, males are really good at courting, right? When they're dating. Women, not so good. We're used to the ones being courted. So he said that. And then I also have been working closely with Imani. And Imani said something to me that what she does with her direct affiliates is that she works with them. It originally was 30 days, but now with this 28-day 50% bonus of the Fast Builder rewards. And now this is an opportune time too, because now the people who have been here for a while get to restart if you choose to with a large package. You get the 4x4 qualification, and you can also restart so you can get that the double, the 50% Fast Builder rewards. And I say the story, my story is that it took me my first month in this business. And of course, we don't make any claims. You can earn $0 a week. You can earn $75,000 a week. The only guarantee is if you do nothing, you will earn nothing. And in my first 30 days, I was able to earn $1,500. And that was really eye-opening for me, because the other network marketing business that I was in, it took me 4 years to see $1,000 a month. So that was really big for me. Had I participated in this 28-day 50% Fast Builder, that wasn't around when we first signed up 2.5 years ago, but had it been, I would have earned $3,000 in my first month. So that's an incredible money story, right? When you're going out there and sharing the opportunity that you have. So we have this incredible opportunity now for us who have been here a while to restart. And this is anyone new coming in. They have 28 days. And what Imani was explaining to me, how she works with her directs, is that she works with them consistently every single day for the 28 days. So whatever means of communication is best for both of you, text, phone calls, messenger, whatever it is, you guys decide that it's working with them every single day. And I take for granted the reason I had success is I had that too in my mom. She was my running buddy. So this is a big, big deal to be able to connect with someone every single day for their first 28 days. And even if it's just a smiley face response, but to have that connection with your new affiliate every single day for those first 28 days is huge. So another part of this too is that what was happening, people tend to go down rabbit holes of trainings, right? Everyone wants to prepare. You've heard me say this too, prepare to prepare to prepare to prepare. But nothing starts unless you have the action. And it's usually the uncomfortable stuff that we don't want to do, right? It's talking to people. That's the uncomfortable piece. It's very easy to sit behind your computer and watch trainings on the comp plan, trainings from Dr. Ron on the oil, trainings. But it's the action of talking to people and asking if they're open to learning about what we have, business and oil, the income producing activity. That's the uncomfortable stuff. But that's what creates the money stories, and that's what creates the momentum and the success. So you'll see in how we've tweaked these getting started guides, it's really focusing in on the income producing activity and shying away from the trainings upon trainings upon trainings. Because believe it or not, people think that they're growing a business by sitting behind their computer and listening and watching trainings. And that's not building a business, unfortunately. If it did, there'd be many more successful people in this company and in this industry as a whole. So we are here. So this is a checklist to help support our new people, our new and existing, to support them every day in the work they really need to be doing to produce a successful business. So I'm going to share my screen, and these documents I will be putting on our Facebook page, in the, what's it called? What's that section? The file section. There you go. So anyone will be able to access these there. So I'm going to let Jory start off and talk about this first box that we have.
Okay, so the first box is kind of just your basic reminders for yourself in terms of username, password, things that we have a tendency to forget. Your affiliate ID, if you do an auto ship, to put that in, even though we know that kind of changes sometimes, but the auto ship, your e-wallet PIN, I need to write that one down because I never remember it. And your affiliate renewal fee date. Now that one really is just for the first year, because it doesn't, like, I think it was like June 28th initially, and I redid it on June 15th. So now my new renewal is June 15th. So, but it's just so that you kind of know for yourself, like, oh, I got to remember to renew so that you stay an affiliate and don't lose your place.
And I think too, Jory, if I could chime in for 1 second with that, that's an important time to say. It's valid for a year. So you should literally right now go to your planner, because you'll get email reminders, but, and put that on your calendar, because once that date passes, your spot is gone. And that means a lot. So maybe that's a good time to have that conversation right there too.
Yeah. So it is very important to put that in the calendar. Your PMV personal website is your username primemybody.com. But some people also don't realize that. So it's just good to have that written out there. Your phone number, email, and then this is, so Susan and Lori are automatically put in there because they are our leaders. And so they want to be able to connect with our downline. And then whoever is the sponsor and anyone else that might be in their upline that you think would be a good person for them to reach out to should you not be available for some reason. Regarding your username and password, we kind of went back and forth on should that be shared with your upline. Some people said yes, some people said no because of the access then to, the e-wallet and all that kind of stuff. But the truth, if you know the person really well and you are somebody who does not write down passwords and you're probably going to forget it, it's probably not a bad idea to have one other person know these things so that if you forget it, because Carrie was just saying, she was in a situation where one of her downline, couldn't remember the password and she didn't have it. And it was a day that Prime My Body was closed because it was over the holidays and she was not going to be active by the next day. So, we leave that up to your discretion, but that is something to kind of keep in mind moving forward, because it isn't one of those things where you can just go reset password and it sends you a link to reset it. Like you have to go through support and they send you information for that. So that's just the general, that's mostly so that you kind of know what all your stuff is for that. And so that you have the phone numbers for your upline so that if you have questions, et cetera, you are going to you're going to have easy access to that to reach out to people. And then if we go down to the next few questions. So what is your why? We hear this all the time. Your why is super important. It's going to be the thing that makes you do the things you don't want to do. So when you have to make those calls or when you have to pound the pavement or whatever it is, the why is super important. And so because a lot of people say, well, I want more money. Well, why do you want more money? And keep asking why, until you get to that point where you get to the very basics of what that why is really about. And and you might be surprised how deep you get. And usually it's when you've asked it at least 6 times. It's usually when you finally get to that place where and they say, your why will make you cry. And your why will evolve too. As you've been doing this, as you achieve more goals, your why is going to evolve. So I think it's important to kind of come back to this question every once in a while, especially if you find yourself kind of leveling out, going, okay, well, maybe I need to revisit that. So the why is really important. And it's important for your upline to know what your why is too, because they can remind you when you are struggling, when you don't want to make those calls, when you're getting frustrated, when people are signing up and not doing something or whatever. Sometimes it's good for that upline to say, are you remembering this? And so it's key that they know that too. What do you want out of this business? So the why and that are kind of two different things. Your why is, I feel, a lot more personal, and what you want out of this business is, I guess it's just a different take on it. So do you want to do this full-time, part-time? How much per month is in the next question, but what are you, so for me right now, like I still have another job. And so what do I want out of this business? I want this business to build up to a point where I can maybe leave that other job. Whereas some people, they go, you know what, I really love what I already do. I really just want to do this as an additional stream of income so that I can afford to put extra money away for my kids' college, that kind of a thing. So that's more what that question is, if I'm missing something, please let me know. And then how much per month are you looking to earn and by when? So it's really important to know the answer to that question, because that tells us as upline, first of all, how realistic you are about this, because, network marketing has a reputation for, what's the word? Making things a little bigger than they should be.
Grandiosity. I like
grandiosity. Yes. So, if you come in, you're like, well, I want to make $10,000, and working 3 hours a week, and I want to make this in a month, that tells us where your reality is and that we might need to tweak that. But it does give us an idea of exactly what you are wanting to get out of this and what your time frame is. And so that helps us better help you get to where you want to be with that. So it's really good to know the dollar figure and by when.
Okay. The next question is, so back to this new 28-day Fast Start program, do I want to participate in this 28-day Fast Start? I mean, this is the first tough question. Like, okay, you're saying you have this is your why and what you want out of the business and how much you want to earn, but are we going to commit to this first 28 days? That's like okay, let's get real. Right? So if they're saying no, not quite, well, then the upline sponsors, we have an idea of where are we at. And so this is a big question to really think about, and am I committing to do this first 28 days? Because when you say, yes, I am committing to this 28 days, then the upline sponsors are committing to be there for you every single day as well. And we will be communicating daily for those first 28 days. So the next question is, what's my preferred communication preference? That's kind of redundant. I just realized that. Telephone, text, Voxer, Facebook, Messenger. I mean, fax, okay, whatever. Drone, sure, okay. But it's really good to know. I know for me, like I have told my team, Voxer me, but if it's super important and you want an immediate response, text me. But if it's something that just like, hey, when you get a chance, answer this, put it in Voxer. So just having that open communication as to, some people say, don't call me because I'll never get your voicemail. Like, we want to be able to know what's the best way to communicate. and really be able to again have that communication every single day for that first 28 days. Now, does that mean we're not going to talk to you anymore after that 28 days? Of course not. We're just like really going to be, holding your hand for that first 28 days and helping you get to those first 4 and get that 50% bonus. Okay, Lori. Can't hear you.
Okay. I didn't even know it was me doing it. Okay, great. Awesome. So these are the things as you're working with your new affiliate. You are, I recommend you having this form in front of you and also having your new affiliate have this form so they can fill it out as you're going through it. So those are the things to really stop and think about and take some time and have these discussions with them. And you know what? If they don't want to do the 28 days, that's okay too. But we keep hearing in this business, you have literally 30 days to get inside your new person's network. Once that 30 days hits, if they're not seeing anything, any money coming in, they're pretty much gone, right? That's what we see time and time again. So then we've got the action steps. So connecting them on social media to our Facebook group, the Team Integrity Chicago. I know there are other groups out there. However, you get that problem again of going down different rabbit holes. So I suggest just joining them into Team Integrity Chicago. I try my best to keep the things that we need to keep, posted in there. Download the free app Voxer. I do feel that our Voxer group is also an important way to get communication out. So join them to that. And I'm going to be doing occasionally some clean sweeps of that to clean house too. But make sure they understand what that is. And then participate in a welcome call with your upline sponsor. And that can literally be 5 minutes, okay? Literally, just a hi, how are you? This is so-and-so, introduce, and that's it. We don't have to get into training at that time because I think we've all learned, we've spent time training people. But why does the training matter? Why does it matter how to use your back office if you can't talk to 5 people, right? So we don't need to spend time doing that training. So this is just literally a hi, how are you? And then start scheduling these launch events. So when I got a little confused when I started out in this industry with the word event. So events are a lot of different things. So events can be a conference call where you're having people call into the 1-800-freeconferencecall.com and whoever, your upline leader or their upline, will be walking through information about the oil and about the business. A Zoom call, an in-home event, a Facebook Live, the Wednesday company Zoom overview, a live local event, like we have JT coming at the end of January, I believe.
January 22nd.
Why, thank you for that date.
And Austin, JT and Austin.
Both, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's the perfect, right? That's a live local event. And then one-on-one presentations. So either on the phone, on a Zoom, in a Starbucks. So all of these are events. That's how we communicate this information. So scheduling at least 3 of those right in the first, second day of when they start. Jory, you want to take the next few?
Sure. And also really quick, and this is something that I've just sort of learned, make sure that the events are scheduled before you do anything beyond this, because, and it's especially with the script, and when we get to the script part, I'll explain why, but get the launch stuff scheduled right away, because that makes it more real to them, and it means that they're committed, like they've set a date. They're not going, oh, well, let me check with my friends to see what, no, just pick dates and tell them that's when it's going to be. And that's how it works. That's why you do 3 of them, so that there's plenty of options for people. So create your reach out list of 50 to 100 people. This is a numbers game. There's just no way around that. And don't prejudge people. There's memory joggers kind of everywhere. I think there's even one somewhere in the back office. But start with the people that you know. again, don't prejudge. You don't know where anybody is in their life and what they might be looking for. And then you're also going to send the list, names only, to the upline sponsor as soon as possible. This is mostly so that we see that you actually did it. Because I certainly have had people go, oh, yeah, I did it. And then you know that they really didn't do that, Nate. And so that's the next thing that you want them to do. And then in terms of creating the script, so the reason you don't want to do the script first, and I've had this happen a couple of times now, where we didn't have a date set and I gave them like kind of an outline for a script. I'm like, now you're going to personalize this for each person, et cetera, et cetera. Well, they were calling people and kind of using the script, but they didn't have a date. And so it was sort of like, so when do you think you could maybe do one of these things? Well, of course, nobody's going to commit to that because they haven't, you haven't committed to that. And that was one of the things I learned in one of my previous companies was when you commit to the date, they will commit to a date. If you haven't committed, why will they? So, so do not send the script until you've gotten their list of 50 to 100 and until you have the date set for the launch. Oh, and it's script stuff. Sorry, let me keep going with that. You do want to make sure that this is customized for each person. It is super important that you do not do mass emails. Like, I can't tell you how important that is. Please don't do that. And don't do any major Facebook posts yet. I know that sounds kind of weird because we all use Facebook so much, but you can do Facebook personal messages, but don't do Facebook posts yet. Just don't. And then again, no mass emails. Did I miss anything?
No, and just the last piece is plug in. I mean, obviously, we're not expecting people to plug into every single call every week, but the one that I recommend is the Monday night leadership call at 8 p.m. Central Time. They also do a Saturday noon call Central Time. But my favorite one is that Monday night. And again, that just keeps you connected with the company, what's going on. The CEO, Paul Rogers, comes on often, and it just keeps people up to date and in the know and understanding the culture of the company. So that's super important. And I also want to go back to the script. I love on actually the Saturday call, I love both Dr. Aaron and JT said, if, go to your upline for help. But if you don't have an upline that you can go to, just keep going up, 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 and up until you find someone that you can work with. And working on a script is really important. I know I've worked with many people on a script. And one of the things people like to do in the beginning, they get so excited and so passionate and they spit so much out. And we need to keep that first introduction script so short. So something just like, would you be open to learning more about a hemp business opportunity? Something as simple as that. So please find an upline to work with while you're creating that script, because in this instance, less is more.
And if somebody says, well, what is it about? Or tell me more now, kind of a thing, to say, look, everything's going to be explained on the call or at the event or whatever it is. And then especially if you're new, you can say, I'm still learning this. So I really want you to hear from the woman who's going to be doing the speaking at this, because they know more than I do. And that then teaches them as well that they don't have to know everything walking into it. It's really important that, if you're suddenly spewing out all of this science and all of this and that and the other thing, it's going to get overwhelming for somebody, and they're going to think, oh, I have to know all of this in order to do the business. And they don't. They learn it from listening to somebody else do it. So that's the other reason that's really important. Short but sweet.
Beautiful.
Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
So, like, oh, we moved on to the next sheet. Okay. So now this is a sheet for you to use when you start sponsoring people. This is a really good way to just sort of trigger, what am I supposed to be asking, especially if you're new, or if you're somebody who doesn't sponsor people on a regular basis, and we sometimes just forget. So again, user ID, username, affiliate ID, enroll date, and the upline information that's pretty much the same as from the other page. The next thing that's really important to explain to somebody that you've just signed on is this. The steps I'm going to walk you through are steps that leaders before you have taken to build their businesses. Do you trust me to guide you through the steps to set you up for success? There's no need for you to reinvent the wheel. We have a system that works if you and I work it. It's really important for you to know where their trust is with you. And because if they're not really trusting you to do it, then it can complicate things. But what you can do, if you say, well, you know, like if it's somebody, well, you haven't been doing this very long, you know what, then we can work with Lori too. Lori's been doing this a long time. She's very successful. I'm sure she'll be able to help us out as well. And it just kind of gives a little more confidence, but that kind of tells you kind of what your relationship is with them. And then this is one I really like. We are here to guide you. However, there is a chance you may disappear during our work relationship and I won't hear from you. And we've all had people who disappeared. We've all disappeared at some point in various businesses. How do you want me to proceed? Do you want me to continue to reach out to you or to stop and you will reach out when you are ready? It's really important to know that, because some people, they just go, you know, I will reach out when I'm ready. Whereas other people like me, I need somebody to just kind of be like, hey, you know, just a little tap just to kind of keep me, you know, to pop into my head. So it's important to know where they are with that. And people will disappear, but they don't. And there are people who will disappear, but they're not gone. They just, sometimes life happens and they just need, you know, somebody to kind of reach out or whatever for them. So it's important to know how they want to proceed with that.
Okay, so action steps. These are pretty simple. Print out and complete both the new affiliate and the sponsor getting started worksheets, which we're going over right now. Again, this is just the checklist like we already talked about. Invite to the Facebook group, invite to Voxer. This is new though. Share new affiliates contact information with your upline for the welcome reach outs, and do this within 48 hours. Like, I pretty much do it as soon as it happens. So it just helps to just get, you know, just do it, get it done. And then as you're doing that, that's when you're saying, let's schedule the engagement call with the upline. So what we're doing is we're showing the new affiliates that we have a whole team that is there, like everybody is there. We all want you to succeed. And it's not just one person, but we have a whole team that is rooting for you in there and to help you to succeed. So, and then also schedule the launch event like Joy was just talking about. So this is just the checklist on that. And schedule the reach out list due date. So here's another one of those, like, commitment, right? When can you get me your reach out list? Names only, again, but when can you get that? You know, so, and are you sure you can, you know, like really validating that commitment, and that will really give you an idea of where your new affiliate is at. So, and I'll
interject right there. Yeah. Cause you know, we get stuck getting into this training mode of people, right? But if they cannot get past this piece, to create the list of 50 to 100 people, why do you need to train on a comp plan? Why do you need to train on how you get into your back office? This is so key, that list. And I'm telling you guys, I still have people like on the plate for months, still working on that list, you know? So that's a huge, so getting this commitment and saying, again, it's not that I need those people's contact information. I'm not trying, right? I'm not trying to get those people's contact information. I'm helping you to see that you do have a list of people that you can go to and ask if they're open to learning more. So, okay, continue. Awesome.
I was gonna say, you could just finish up if you want with creating.
Okay. Yeah. Well, this right, creating the script again. You know, working with someone who has created a script before. I do know, like when we first started out with this, I had someone direct to me, an affiliate direct to me, say, Lori, I keep asking people, and no one wants to come and hear more. And I said, okay, show me what you're asking them. And then I saw, and it was like paragraph upon paragraph upon paragraph of all this information. And I'm like, but they wouldn't say yes to learning more because you just gave them all the information they could have possibly wanted. So that's why keeping it short and very short and sweet. So find someone to work with who has skills in creating a script. And then super important to send a copy of that new affiliate getting started worksheet to Susan or myself with the person's contact information and email. Because you know what? I understand things happen in people's lives. They stop this business. That doesn't mean, though, that the person they brought on should have to stop their business because they don't have anyone to go to. So we just want to make sure that no one gets lost in the cracks, right? Because someone disappears. And as we get growing, I mean, I have like 10 generations now. So, and I always go back to the story that Scotty B did in our leadership trip to Acamal, Mexico, when he's standing at the front and he's just going down and down, you know, this person brought in this person. I'm like, where is he going here? And the importance of understanding in this binary system, your next JT or your next Austin Tice can be 20 people, 20 generations below you. So it's just so important. We don't ever want to lose anyone who really wants to be able to do this. So we're asking that you provide that copy. You can do a screenshot of it, send it in a picture, scan it, whatever's easier for you, but to get that copy with their contact information to my mom or myself. And then again, getting plugged in. Monday night calls are my top number one, and then Saturday at noon.
There's one other thing I wanted to add with the welcome call that we had talked about, because sometimes the welcome calls don't happen because you're trying to coordinate with your downline and the person that they sponsored, et cetera. And the reason that we want their information is so, like, if I sponsor somebody and they get somebody on and I can't coordinate with their sponsor, I'm just going to reach out to that person. And like Lori said, this is like a 3 to 5 minute call. Hey, I'm one of your team. I just wanted to welcome you, but you have the conversation with your immediate downline to find out what their status is. Because some people, they sign up and they're not really doing the business, right? They're not somebody you're necessarily going to reach out to. But if it's somebody who is going to be doing the business, or even part-time or whatever, to just reach out to be like, hey, if you have any questions and you can't get a hold of whoever the downline is, don't hesitate to reach out to me or to Lori or to Susan, and just to welcome them that way. It doesn't have to be a big orchestrated thing. It can just be a really, really quick phone call, and it should be a really quick phone call. The engagement call is when you're going over this list. That's a separate thing. It's not the welcome call.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for adding that. So I think the biggest takeaways that you guys can see with this is the working every single day with that person for those first 28 days. I think if you don't get anything else by what we talked about here, is that the commitment to work with that person every single day. And you see, there's nothing here that says, watch this video, get on this training call. We've eliminated all that because that stuff doesn't matter, right? You're going to be learning. And that's why I see one of the people, hi, Tina, I'm going to shout out to you. We did this. Julie and I got on a call with Tina, and, Tina's like, I don't know what to say. We all feel that way, right? When we get into a new company, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about the oil. I don't know what to say about the business. And the beauty of this is you don't know. You don't have to know what to say, right? All you need to do, and we put it in this list, is to generate a list of people that you're going to talk to create, specific dates of 3 different events you're going to have in those first 28 days, and to create a script. You're going to learn the rest of it by coming to those events, right? By joining into those in-home events, those live events, those one-on-one on a call, those Zoom calls, the conference, any of those. That's how you learn. And you're never expected to ever go out and do that until, past your 30, 60 days. And sometimes people take less time to learn that, and some people take more time. But that's the beauty of this. We're not sending anyone to go train on stuff. We're exclusively working on the income producing activity. And that's all we need to do. So I hope this helps you guys re-engage yourselves. I love that I've already had people who I've been doing this for a while, recommitting to starting over so they can participate in this 28-day 50% FBR. So use this for people who have already signed up with you. Reach out to your downlines. You don't know, just because, you think your directs are working it, they might have people that they sign up. So it's a really important time to go back to people, see if they want to re-engage, this restart to be able to bring in a significant amount of money. And then remember, part of earning that money is also bringing on 4 people. So the expansion of your team is really important here too. When you bring on 4 new people, that really gets that momentum going. So it's not just about, money's great, especially after this time of year when everyone's maxed out their credit cards, right? On gifts that people won't even remember what they got them next year. But it's also to think too, when you're bringing 4 people onto your team, that is setting you up for significant momentum. So, and then it's the repeat. So I hope this was helpful to you guys. I am going to tweak that one thing, Carrie, that you found that was redundant. And then I am going to post this on our files section on Team Integrity. And I will also post this recording so you guys can share this with your different team members who weren't here to able to make it live. And I hope this was helpful to you guys. I know I have committed to working with my directs for this next 28 days. We're going to be forming an exclusive group of people who want to focus in on doing that. So if you are interested in recommitting to this 28 days, please, get in touch with me, get in touch with your upline, and we can get you into that group. And I hope this was helpful for you guys. And I hope you have a great week back to school, back to work, all that fun stuff. And happy New Year, everyone.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Awesome.
Year.